Hey, what's up, my nerds?
I'm Air Bear.
I'm Jason, and you're just in time for your weekly dose of nerd news.
Clink! Today is Thursday, January 12th, and this is what happened this week. Starting things off with movies, Ant-Man and Wasp, the Quantumanium, has a new... That's not exactly right, but good enough.
It's okay, we'll go with it. Yeah.
The new poster has released this week, but more importantly, a new trailer premiered during the national championships. I was this tempted to watch just so I could see the trailer.
Yeah.
But I was like,
You have to sit through a baseball game, and it's, no thanks. Yeah.
And more Marvel news. Oh, we did watch the trailer.
Luckily, YouTube exists, so
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can just watch it, and I definitely suggest you do.
Yeah. I don't know if it's like a need to watch. I don't know. I feel like more people are more excited about this movie than I am, and I think it's because they are more familiar with the villain than I am. Like, I know nothing about this guy.
Yeah. And when I say you should watch, it's a cool trailer. That's why I think you should watch it. I only watched it because we're doing this news show, and I should watch it because I'm going to be talking about it slightly. But I know I want to watch the movie. So for me, I probably wouldn't watch it. But it is cool. And I also don't really know much I know as much as you do about the villain.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. I'm still excited though. Seems like it could be a cool launching off point for some of the other projects.
I think it is.
I mean, I know it is. I don't want to get into too much detail just in case somebody's not watching the trailers. Like Once Upon a Time, I wasn't watching the trailers. I wanted to come at it with fresh eyes, not really knowing much, but just knowing that I want to watch the next Ant-Man movie.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. But there are going to be some branching off points from here.
I was thinking of, what was that movie that we didn't watch? And then we found out, like, no, that's integral. Was it Captain America 1?
Yeah, it was Captain America Winter Soldier.
Before we went into Avengers, we found out you have to watch Captain America.
They're twisting your arm to watch first Avenger movie.
That's what this movie is.
No, not Winter Soldier. It wasn't Winter Soldier. It was just Captain America.
Just Captain America #1.
I think it was called The First Avenger or something. But whatever the first Captain America movie was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what this movie is. It's like a movie it seems like a movie that you have to watch in order to continue the journey.
Mm.
But anyway, further in MCU news and Disney news, Disney has announced that it will give an IMAX upgrade to 18 of its MCU movies on Disney Plus. There's already a couple of movies that have the IMAX upgrade on them. I guess it wasn't really an upgrade. It was already released with the IMAX upgrade. And one of the movies that they listed hasn't been released to Disney Plus yet. So it's like, is that an upgrade? Are you updating it, or are you just releasing it with this IMAX
intact
stuff? But it is making me want to get a Bose system because it's like there's sounds I'm missing, or some sort of sound system.
Okay. Yeah.
But one of the movies that will be released that hasn't been released already is Wakanda Forever. Also 10 Rings. Trying to think of what else. There's an eyelash in my eye. I think it got back in there from earlier today.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. All right. And then next up in movie news is Megan has done very well in its first week. It did not do well enough to push Avatar out of the top spot, but it is the first movie in a very long time to be released in the first week of the year to go over $300 million. $300 million in the box office since 2012 when Devil Inside did it. Sorry.
And is it 300 million?
Sorry.
Or 30 million?
30 million.
Okay.
30 million. It's not 300 million.
Okay. Okay.
That
cool.
would be a bigger.
That would be a much bigger deal. Yes.
But yeah, people seem to be very happy with Megan.
Cool.
Yeah. Avatar still sits at the top spot with 1.7 billion globally. It has now passed Jurassic World in the list of biggest box office releases of all time. It is right behind Spider-Man No Way Home, and Avatar #1 is still #1.
Okay. Congratulations to James Cameron. Continuing with James Cameron news, Titanic is actually coming back to the theaters. So if you are a fan and are in a committed relationship, why not go see some lovers on Titanic? I won't spoil the ending, but anyway,
It's been out
it's
for well over 6 months.
I guess that's true. That is true. That's true.
I don't
But-
think you're spoiling it.
Well, in any case,
There's a boat. Everybody dies.
not everybody. Not everybody. Some people selfishly live because they wouldn't scooch over. But anyway, it's coming out for Valentine's Day. It's coming out February 10th, but you can catch it Valentine's Day if you're looking for a date night.
Oh yeah, that would be the weekend before Valentine's Day, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, very cool. And just in case you didn't know how successful the movie was, it won 11 Academy Awards. It was in the top box office spot for 15 weeks. And it became the highest grossing movie of all time with $2.2 billion being pulled in. And it was dethroned by Avatar in 2009, another James Cameron film, and which brings his total count to top 10 box office hits. He's got 3 spots
Yeah.
in the top 10
And I
box
know
office hits.
what the other one. Oh no, top 10.
Avatar.
So both of the avatars are
Both the
taking up 2
Avatars
spots.
are taking up 2 spots.
Because I was thinking, is Terminator taking up one of the Terminators taking up the other spot? I feel like Terminator and Avatar seem like they're hitting the same sort of kind of group.
Yeah.
Like Terminator's action, Avatar sci-fi. Titanic, it's kind of
Middle
out
left
there.
field, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but very cool. Speaking of cool stuff, Community. 6 seasons in a movie is coming to fruition. So filming is going to start this summer. I know I'm excited. Other fans should be excited about it too. Don't have an official release date for it yet, but filming for a Community movie is going to be starting this summer, sounds like.
I wonder if it's being filmed in Atlanta. Because I feel like I heard. No.
Donald Glover had a show called Atlanta.
He did have a show called Atlanta.
Maybe that's what you're thinking of.
Maybe that is what I'm thinking of. All right, so moving on to TV news. Last of Us, which will be coming out this Sunday, is getting a companion podcast. It is going to be hosted by Troy Baker, who is the voice of Joel. It is also going to be hosted by Neil Druckmann and Craig Mazin, who are the creators of Last of Us.
Cool.
So they're going to be going over like different scenes and recording and just behind the scenes stuff. Yeah. Also, in other games that are going to live action television, Dungeons and Dragons will be getting a live action series. I think it's going to be 8-episode series on Paramount Plus. I don't really know that much about Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know. I mean, I guess this is a show instead of a movie.
Yeah.
I saw that there's going to be orcs and elves and humans.
I'll
yeah.
start talking now.
That's Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay, I did drink all of my water. So I'll be pretending from here on. Well, fans of Rian Johnson, so Knives Out, Glass Onion, Star Wars.
I don't know
The
why
one
you're
after
looking at
Force
me.
Awakens. The one before Rise of the Skywalker. Last Jedi. Star Wars Last Jedi.
I didn't know he directed
He
that.
did. He did. He did.
Interesting.
He did. Yeah. So
Make me
fans.
rethink everything.
Hmm,
Now it's
well,
making me rethink everything.
there we go. Maybe you should. He's got a new Who Done It series that's going to be streaming on Peacock. Sounds like it's going to be a murder or a mystery of the week type show. 10 episodes, streaming on Peacock, and it's coming out January 26th. So if you're a fan, I mean, like I am, of his Glass Onion and Knives Out type stuff, sounds like this may be in that same realm. Yeah, so check it out. There's a trailer that actually came out. You can check that out to see if it might be something you're interested in. Also, Stranger Things star Noah Schnapp came out as gay on TikTok. On TikTok. TikTok. Oh. TikTok. Never mind. I don't know why I'm saying oh. Oh, wow. TikTok. Okay. Anyway, good for Noah. Good for Noah. He was quoted as saying, "When I finally told my friends and family I was gay, after being scared in the closet for 18 years, all they said was, 'We know.'" So hopefully he's getting a lot of support, a lot of love for coming out. Awesome stuff. Good for you, Noah. Very, very cool.
Did you say who he was on Stranger
Oh,
Things?
he's Will. Will. It is Will, right?
That's his name.
Yeah, Will on Stranger Things. So season 1, the boy that went missing. Yeah. Oh, more from me. Well, looks like Netflix is renewing Wednesday, their very, very popular show. They're giving it season 2. And like I said, super popular, very successful. As a matter of fact, it topped Netflix's top 10 for the first week that it came out. It I believe it shot to the top of the top 10 chart for the week. And that first week, it gained 341 million views or hours watched. So, very nice job. No surprise they're coming out with a season 2.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It's like, I wonder why that's news. Why that wasn't automatically just
A given.
of course, yeah. A give, yeah. Especially of how well it did. Like, why are we just now deciding that there's going to be a season 2? But I did see some news that it seemed like other stations, like HBO Max or some other channels, were trying to get Wednesday. And I think Netflix, I don't know. So clearly Netflix has it.
Right.
So,
yeah.
I mean, at this point, I don't really trust anything with HBO Max. It's just dropping shows left and right.
Trying to find their new normal, I guess.
It's
Well-
not like you're running out of the room.
You don't know what their
Do they
server
only
situation
have
is.
a certain number of slots that they can have shows for? So, oh, Last of Us is coming. Well, we got to get rid of a bunch of Looney Tunes shows.
I am not going to pretend like I know how it works. Okay? I don't know.
So yeah, I am glad that Netflix is being renewed, or that Wednesday is being renewed by Netflix.
Not HBO Max.
Yes.
Well, because if it was, it would cost you a little more to watch it. Because it looks like HBO Max is increasing their prices from $15 for their ad-free service up to $16, so $1 increase. And they were quoted as saying that existing subscribers who are currently paying $14.99 per month will see their monthly rate increase to $15.99 effective their next billing cycle or on or after Saturday, February 11th, 2023. So it looks like that price increase is coming pretty quickly, jumping up $1 for HBO Max. I will say that this is the first price hike since they started the service back in May of 2020. So
Yeah, I was thinking it hasn't increased.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I believe HBO Max is also included with a lot of things. Like my parents get HBO Max automatically because it's, or they might be paying for it. I don't know. I don't pay for it. So In event news, an update on Jeremy Renner, Hawkeye, or also known as Hawkeye. He has had, well, I believe 2 weeks ago, we announced that he had a major injury with a snowplow that ended up running over him while he was trying to help out a family member or a friend. And so he has had several surgeries, but there's concern that there's going to be permanent damage that's going to affect his mobility and affect him being able to walk around, and that his leg may be permanently injured. And it may, like, there's talk that there might be amputation. Yeah, so just a long road to recovery for Jeremy Renner. And I believe he has a show that is coming out in the next couple of weeks, but I'm not sure how that will affect the show, if it's already been recorded and all of that. Yeah. So, yep. And then more kind of, I guess, Disney related news. Bob Iger, who was the former, he's like the sandwich, the bread of the sandwich.
The Chapek sandwich?
Yes. He's the bread of the Chapek sandwich, Disney CEO. Yeah. He's the current CEO.
CEO sandwich.
Yes, so Bob Iger was CEO, and then he handed it over to Chapek, and then he took it back, and now he's CEO again. He is rolling back some of the prices that were previously increased under Chapek's reign. Don't get excited, because it's not the park ticket prices.
Okay.
Yeah, I got excited. I was like, what? And I actually made an audible sound. We're going back to pre prices. We're not.
No, we're not.
So he's still keeping Disney Genie Plus. He's still keeping, I think it's called Genie Plus. He's still keeping those prices intact. And also the Disney price. Oh yeah, there was something else. The Disney ticket price increase intact. But so Disney has, I don't think it exists. I don't think it existed before, but I think it did. Never mind. They have certain days that cost less than other days.
Okay.
And their lowest costing day, I believe, is 104. Like, I guess if you, their lowest costing day is 104. But, you know, if you buy more days, like if you stay for 10 days or if you buy 10 tickets, then the price of all of them goes down. So depending on what day you buy a ticket, like if you buy a ticket on a less popular day, like middle of the week, when nobody can be there, they're less expensive. They're increasing the number of those days to be 2 months worth of days. So there's going to be more cheaper days. They're not decreasing the price. They're just making
that cheapest price
more available. Yeah. So in addition to that, there's going to be some other reduction in prices. So people who are staying on property, they saw some price increase with parking costs. Those are either being decreased or taken away. There's also annual pass holders. They had to pay in order to be able to download their pictures digitally. Now they're able to download those for free.
Nice.
If they want them printed, they have to pay for that. But it just looks like some things are becoming more affordable. And one of the things that they mentioned, or that Bob Iger mentioned, was that he saw Disney World going in a direction, or like the whole Disney parks going in a direction that they weren't originally intended to be. Like originally it was intended for families to be able to go there and have fun together. But now it's become, or he's concerned that it's become so expensive that the average family can't go.
Right.
Which is moving away from Walt Disney's original vision. Like there's a lot about Disney that's moving away from his original vision. But that was one of the things that he's working to, I guess, try to mitigate.
Yeah.
I think mitigate's the word.
Correct.
Yes.
Staying in Disney. But going over to Disneyland Paris, they're celebrating their 30th anniversary with a spectacular drone show. So apparently, along with the other pyrotechnics and music and lights and all that good stuff, they're going to have 500 drones to put on their Marvel-themed Power the Night show to finish out the festivities. So it sounds like it's going to be at the end of the night. And it's going to start January 28th and run through May 8th. And sounds like it's going to be a pretty cool show that's going to be projected on the Tower of Terror. Once again, that's in Disneyland Paris for their 30th anniversary.
I find that interesting that it's Tower of Terror because in one of the parks, the Tower of Terror was changed into or rethemed as a Marvel Laugh Factory or Marvel, a Marvel ride with Rocket taking you up and down and yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was Disneyland maybe.
I thought it was Disney World.
I don't think it was Disney World.
Is that getting turned into something else? Because I know I needed to ride Tower of Terror before it went away. I thought.
I don't know. Maybe it is both.
I think it might be both.
But one of the parks, I felt like they had a Marvel complex or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like they had like a
Disneyland.
whole area that was just Marvel stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
Because they have a Spider-Man at Disneyland.
They do, don't
Yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure that the complex is at Disneyland.
Disneyland,
But-
which makes me think Tower of Terror is there.
Yeah.
Well, not Tower of Terror.
Not Tower of Terror. Rockets.
Rockets.
Tower of Fun.
Mad Adventure. I don't know. So CES 2003, which I still have not looked up, but it's some sort of convention for electronics, I guess. It has announced, or there were a couple of new electronic devices that were shown or had announcements or big reveals or whatever at the convention. So I'm going to list a few of them that were kind of cool. One of them was Samsung Odyssey Neo G9. It's basically like a wraparound screen for gaming. The way that they were showing it was like for race car gaming, so you could see the buildings going by you. So it kind of makes it a little bit more immersive without having the goggles on. Like, you know, VR goggles.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool. I don't know how expensive it is, but you know, there's that.
Yeah.
LG Signature OLED M. I don't know if it's OLED or if it's OLED. I'm gonna say
OLED seems right.
okay.
But it's all pushed together, so.
OLED.
OLED.
Well, they have a new 97-inch 4K TV that has a wireless transmitter box. So you can leave your console, your Xbox, your PlayStation, all of that, and you can plug it into that, and it's in a cabinet somewhere else. And then you can mount your TV on the wall with no cords coming out of it. You're a lot more excited about this time than when I
Nice.
said it before.
I was saving my excitement.
Okay.
Yeah. Wow.
No cords?
No cords, you say. It was very cool.
Yeah.
And I was trying to
think
wrap my head around it when you first said it, too.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A cordless TV or a wireless TV. And Razer Edge gaming handheld. It's just from Android. It's like a Game Boy. It's the most recent one that I know. It's a Game Boy
yeah.
for Android. It's coming out January 26th.
Cool.
Also, Asus ROG Ray Curie Pro is a game controller that is compatible with Xbox. It has a small little 1.3 inch OLED screen built in that's going to be on the controller. I don't know why you need a tiny screen on your controller, but
So
like
you can play while you're in the restroom.
it's not a Game Boy. Android has that.
Well, yeah. I imagine you have a screen on the controller. I've had situations where I'm like, man, I wish I could play this game while I'm in the
You
restroom.
won't be able to see that.
No, I'm just
What's
saying.
the text say? I don't know what option I'm selecting.
I'm not saying they stole my idea. I'm just saying that I've had that thought. And this seems like it could be a step in that direction. I don't know.
Well, I am wondering so there was this laptop that came out a couple of years ago. It was a gaming laptop that had, its regular screen, but then on the keyboard, it had like another screen down here that was a touch screen panel. And you could use that as more controls for the game that you're playing. I think, of course, the game they probably showed was a racing game again, where like you could control acceleration or brakes or something on this little touchpad, but it was a screen touchpad sort of situation, separate from the actual screen. And I'm wondering if this controller with the tiny screen is going to be a touchpad sort of deal.
Probably.
And then also, like, when you look at your PlayStation controller, it has a giant space in the middle of it that all it does is lights up.
I think it's supposed to do something like be a trackpad or something like that.
Okay.
For yours. I haven't come across using it.
You did try.
I did try.
You did try a game and it just was not responding, right?
Yeah. So, all right, I rescind my thought on playing games in the restroom. I don't think the world's ready for that yet. On a controller. Like with it. I think your idea is better. I think your idea may be more along the line of where they're trying to go with it. Because the little space, the space on the PlayStation controller is utterly useless. As far as I'm concerned with my games. I've tried it. It doesn't work. Not to say it can't work. Just hasn't worked. So maybe this is a step in that direction.
So more controller news. Project Leonardo, which is being released by PlayStation, I believe, is a new accessible or accessibility controller kit. And it's really cool. I'm a special education teacher, by the way, so I like accessibility things, which is why I went on for 5 minutes about the accessibility options in God
of War.
Once
you found out about them.
Yeah. So I like making things more accessible for people with special needs. Anywho, they have a new controller that has like big buttons on it, and it has like a joystick in the middle. I believe there might be 2 of them, because you know how there's 2. I don't know what those thumb thingies are. Yeah, there's 2 sticks and then there's different controls. Anyway, there's 2 of them, and then there might be something else where you can plug it. It's a lot. Yeah. But it's a whole kit with more accessible buttons, making the controller and making games more accessible to a wider range of audiences. Because there are people who are interested in this world and they can't access it. Like all they can do is just watch. This is allowing them to actually be a part of it. I like it.
You do?
I'm hoping it's not super expensive though. Wait, I wasn't finished.
Whoa.
Last thing that I want to mention from the CES 2023 convention dealio is that Roku is now making its own TVs. So before Roku was just that little, I think it's a stick that you plug in and it's just a remote.
Yeah.
Kind of like a Amazon Fire Stick.
Fire TV stick.
Yeah. Now it's making its own TVs.
Cool.
Yeah. All right. So moving on in gaming news, Neil Druckmann, who is the, I guess, head honcho at Naughty Dog, which released Last of Us and
Uncharted.
Uncharted is the name of the
Crash Bandicoot.
game. I mean, it did release Crash Bandicoot, but that doesn't relate to my story.
Carry on.
It released Last of Us and Uncharted. So Neil Druckmann said that he's becoming more interested in the subtle world building that you see in Elden Ring, as opposed to the more straightforward thing that you get in Last of Us and Uncharted. Where you get those cinemas that like pretty much lay out what's happening, and then you have a little bit of gameplay, and then you have some more cinema. But he's more interested, or he's becoming more interested in the subtleness of Elden Ring, where you use your environment to kind of tell you the story. And he referenced the sailor named Ish storyline that was in Last of Us that you remember. I don't. He thought that that was one of, or he mentioned that as being one of the stories that stuck with you.
Neil?
Didn't stick with me. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. He wants to look at pursuing that direction with like newer projects.
More of his content.
Yeah. I think we can all kind of tell how I feel about it. I watched you play Elden Ring and I was confused as fudge.
Well, I was playing
idea.
Elden Ring and we were confused together. Yeah.
I mean, so to the point where we didn't even finish because it was like
Maybe we did finish. I don't know. Maybe the story ended there.
But like, we went so far as to watch a YouTube video.
A few YouTube videos.
About what is happening.
What is happening in this game? Like what?
Just a
Is it
story.
a ring? Is it a tree? Is it an alien? Like what? What are we doing? What are we doing? Yeah.
Yeah. So, hopefully he doesn't go that far toward Elden Ring, where you don't even know what you're doing anymore. Like, what is this tree? Did we ever find out what this golden tree in the middle is? I don't know. I wouldn't even be able to spoil anything for anybody. That was how bad it was that we didn't even care about being spoiled and knowing what the end of the game is.
What we're supposed to do, please. Just please, yeah.
Yeah. So, but it sounds like he still wants a story. He just wants it to be built by the environment. So in A Sailor Named Ish, I'm guessing there were letters all over the place that we had to pick up and read.
Yeah, from what I remember.
And like
Yeah.
we had to find like a shipwreck or something.
Yeah, I think you stumbled upon this shipwreck and there were letters, like journal entries.
Yeah.
I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do remember the sailor named Ish.
Okay. So for me, Elden Ring, I think more the issue with it is that the story is just so complicated. It may be a subtle world building as well, but because of the complicated story, I may already be turned off from Elden Ring or something being more similar to Elden Ring.
Yeah.
Like, it could have had a more straightforward story, and maybe I would have liked subtle world building better.
But both of those things together.
just made it just...
Obtuse.
Yes. It's like, I don't think I'm smart enough for this game. It's clearly not for me.
Offended by that.
Yeah. So, yes. Neil Druckmann.
Yeah.
And then in other gaming news, Marvel Contest of Champions, which is a mobile game, has a new trailer that is revealing some more champions. It's pretty cool. I like the champions they revealed. I don't play the game. I know nothing about the game. I just watched the trailer.
You like what you saw?
I liked what I saw. It was pretty cool. It made me feel better about some people.
Nice.
Yeah.
Liked it enough to maybe play it?
No.
Or watch me play it?
Probably not.
Yeah.
It's a mobile game, so it's gonna be like this small. 1.3 inch screen.
Yeah. Play it in the bathroom. All right.
What is he doing now? Are you winning or losing?
Well, it's finally here, Love Bear. It's finally here.
What's that, love bug?
Official Xbox Oreos.
Whoa.
I know, right? Have you ever wanted to eat the buttons off of the Xbox controller
Never,
like I have?
because that's
Well,
disgusting.
now it's less so because Oreos is coming out with little Oreos that has like the Xbox logo that's in the center of the controller. It's got an A, a B, a Y, an X, a directional arrow, which I thought was just an up arrow. I was like, they just give you the up arrow,
Talking about the D-pad?
but you can turn it. Yeah.
Oh.
You turn it so it's a left arrow,
Oh, okay.
right, down.
All right.
Yeah, so Xbox, so for fans out there, if you want to get a box of Oreos, gaming Oreos, Xbox, and Oreos.
When I
Mining.
first saw this, I thought it was Oreos designed to eat while you're playing Xbox. And I wondered
Like
what makes them
ergonomically
more better for Xbox Play.
I see.
Is it that they're thin so you could just like pop them in quickly? But now I understand.
Good. I'm glad I explained it well. And if you're looking for something to wash down those Oreos, how do some pricey thematic drinks sound? Well, Capcom has us covered with its 25th anniversary edition, or 25th. They're celebrating their 25th anniversary of Resident Evil, and players of the game will recognize the herbs that you can grab different herbs, combine them to make drinks and make potions and stuff like that.
Is grass an herb? I didn't know that there were herbs in that. I mean, we watched the movie, but herbs was not what I thought of.
Well,
I just thought of blood. Like, isn't that the game with
zombies?
blood? Like yeah, like where they're trying to survive the end of the world?
Yeah. Yeah. Or I think it may be one city that got infected, Raccoon City.
Raccoon?
Yes.
Got infected with raccoons?
No. There were surprisingly few raccoons in that. I don't remember seeing a single raccoon in that city.
Is raccoon an herb?
I don't think so. No. I'm going to say no. I'm pretty sure grass isn't an herb.
Okay.
Well, it depends on the type of grass. Well, no. Okay. But Capcom has some collectible drinks. And you know what? I'm just going to read what I wrote here. Hey, Resident Evil fans, if you've ever pondered what those herbs taste like, well, you're in luck. Because there's going to be 10 drinks available in a collector's box. And it's going to offer a few more things like actual dust of herbs that you... Don't worry, it gets better. It gets better, okay? Like some dust that you can mix together to make drinks. And there are...
I would have rather just Harry Potter come out with something like this. So I can mix my own potions or something like that, which we have something like that. I was thinking of using today. But anyway.
Well,
okay, Resident Evil. This is not the first thing I think of when I think of that movie. Or that game.
The game, the franchise. Yeah, that's... I'll tell you what, if you're a fan, look into it, look it up at least, just to see it. I know when I didn't play that much Resident Evil, so I don't feel like I'm doing it too much justice talking about it, but it does remind me of the game, like the spray cans of the, I don't know why I'm looking at you, you're not going to be any help with this, but I do love you. I do love you. It looks pretty cool. It looks like it's a really good production. It's also expensive. They're only making 4,750 of them, so it's a limited edition. And the pre-orders are starting at $214 for this pack of 10 drinks and a few other things. An art book or a certificate of authenticity. So if you're a fan, it might be something worth looking into. Resident Evil 25th celebratory edition of cool stuff. Yeah.
And yeah, how much that art book is? It's about $21 per drink. It's Disney prices.
Yeah, that's true.
So as far as movies releasing this week, or movies and shows and things like that are coming out this week, there are no movies, but TV shows. These are TV shows that are coming out between January 12th and January 19th, which is next week, Thursday. Now I'm realizing the overlap, because we have some overlap. Last week we already announced that Velma would be coming out. It's coming out today on HBO Max. And
Kung Fu Panda, right? Kung Fu Panda, The Dragon Knight is also coming out today on Netflix.
Which we mentioned both of those last week. So we'll have to figure out when our actual cutoff is. Because like sometimes if I'm watching something and then I find out that it came out today, I'm like, I'm going to go watch that now. But if I find out it's coming out in a week, I'm not going to plan that far in advance.
That's true. That's true.
So,
it's not the kind of life.
That's not the kind of life I live. I can't handle all of that. So, next up in shows, the big one, Last of Us, is coming out on Sunday on HBO Max, 9 o'clock. you will know where we will be sitting on that couch watching that TV, HBO Max.
Yes.
Hopefully
Yes,
it's not rated R. Otherwise, I'm going to be like this.
Well,
And you're going to be telling me when it's okay to look.
hopefully. I'm looking forward to it.
Me too. I might even do the podcast, and I hate podcasts.
Yeah, you do.
Mm.
She does. She does. I wasn't going to mention, oh yeah, I might do that podcast because I know how much you hate them.
Yeah, as long as it's like an hour or less.
Yeah. All right. Batteries are dying. Let's wrap this thing up. So last item to talk about is that 90s show that's going to be premiering January 19th on Netflix. So if you're a fan of that 70s show.
Next week, Thursday, for those of you who can plan that far in advance.
That's right, a week from today. Yes, if you're watching this on Thursday. So January 19th, Thursday. Netflix, that 90s show.
All right.
Well. Looks like that's it, everybody. This has been your weekly dose of nerd news. Hey, if you liked it, be sure to subscribe or leave us a like. And why don't you throw in the comments how many fake sips I took today. Until then, we will see you.
Quickly doing the math.
Until then, until when? Until next week. We'll see you then for our
This came from Disney.
yeah, it did.
Batu. It's the name of the Star Wars world.
At
In
Universal.
nope,
No, at Hollywood Studios.
Hollywood Studios. Until then.
Yes. I've been chasing. And I will be next week too.
We'll catch you next week.
Ooh.
Oh no. Clink.
Take care.